Leo stared at his reflection, feeling a hollow rhythm in his chest. His weekends were usually a blur of glowing screens and recycled air. "There has to be more than this," he muttered, driven by a sudden, sharp desire to be useful. He looked up the local community shelter. He didn't have a specific skill or a grand plan. He just had two hands and a nagging sense that his comfort had become a cage. He grabbed his jacket and stepped out, the cool morning air finally feeling like an invitation rather than a chore. The shelter was a brick building tucked between a bakery and an alley. It wasn't the pristine charity gala Leo had imagined. It was loud, smelled of industrial floor cleaner and vegetable soup, and hummed with a chaotic energy. A woman with a clipboard and a weary smile pointed him toward the kitchen. "We're short-staffed on the line," she said. Leo felt a surge of nerves. He had come to save the day, but looking at the organized bustle, he realized he was just a small piece of a much larger, moving puzzle. Steam rose in thick clouds, sticking to Leo's hair as he ladled broth into ceramic bowls. At first, he focused only on the mechanics: scoop, pour, slide. But then he started looking at the faces. There was an old man with a threadbare cap who thanked him with a wink, and a young mother who looked like she hadn't slept in years. The good deed wasn't an abstract concept anymore. It was the weight of the ladle and the direct eye contact that acknowledged someone's humanity. During a lull, Leo sat across from a regular named Elias. They didn't talk about tragedy or need. They talked about the local baseball team's losing streak. Leo realized he had arrived with a savior mindset, expecting to feel superior or pitying. Instead, he felt grounded. Elias's laughter was raspy but genuine, cutting through Leo's self-importance. He wasn't just giving his time, he was receiving a perspective he couldn't have bought. The help was becoming a mutual exchange. As the crowd thinned, the real work began. Leo spent 2 hours scrubbing massive industrial pots and mopping the linoleum. His back ached and his hands were pruned from the dishwater, but the hollow feeling in his chest had vanished. In the repetitive motion of cleaning, he found a strange kind of peace. He wasn't thinking about his own problems or his social media feed. He was focused on making sure the kitchen was ready for tomorrow. Hard work, he discovered, was the best cure for a restless soul. Leo left the shelter as the sun was dipping below the skyline. He was exhausted, smelling faintly of onions and bleach, but he moved with a light step he hadn't felt in months. He realized that happiness wasn't something you chased through personal gain. It was a byproduct of being useful. He looked at the city differently now, not as a backdrop for his life, but as a community he belonged to. He reached for his phone, not to scroll, but to mark his calendar for next Saturday. He had found his rhythm. A young person happily serving food at a community center. Warm lighting, emotional, realistic style. Moral time for kids. Have desire to do good deeds.